The player has just completed 2 combat-heavy levels, so we wanted to slow things down once they got inside. These early levels were designed as a pacing change, allowing players to explore the layout of Nova Prospekt's interiors. Along the way, we began to introduce the turret gameplay, first as an enemy to the player, and later as a tool they could use. Much of this level was built by reusing prototypes and art spaces created earlier in the project, when we were focused on shaping the look of Nova Prospekt.
Turrets. Turrets were a useful design tool when the player had bug bait, as they could completely prevent antlions from approaching them head-on. This allowed us to create setups where the player couldn't just throw bug bait to proceed. They needed to circle around and clear the turrets so their antlions could follow. It didn't hurt that watching antlions get mowed down by turret fire was a great visual too.
Nova Prospekt process. Like Ravenholm, Nova Prospekt was initially designed with significantly different gameplay than what ultimately shipped. The first version focused on player versus combine soldier combat, with no involvement of antlions. Unlike other areas of the game where gameplay and art evolved together, Nova Prospekt received a large art push early on. This produced a set of reusable, polished sections of level geometry with art already applied. Assembling Nova Prospekt from these pieces worked well, as the prison's layout was naturally repetitive. And then later, when we returned with antlions and bug bait, we had to repurpose the geometry to fit the new gameplay.
Turrets.
internal containment teams. Deserve all political conscripts in Block A7. Prohibit external contact.
Ragdoll Vortigaunt. There's a lot of pain to see in this dead Vortigaunt, pain of our level designers. At the time, our development tools didn't allow us to directly pose a ragdoll, which is to say, when an NPC dies and it systemically ragdolls to the ground, we didn't have any control over what pose it ended up in. If we'd had some animator time, they could have given us a single frame animation in roughly the pose we wanted, but we were late and our small animation team was already overloaded. So a level designer positioned the Vortigaunt above the chair, told it to die as the level loaded, and waited to see what pose the ragdoll settled into. Then the designer moved the Vortigaunt slightly and tried again. We can't remember exactly how many attempts it took, but it was way, way more than you'd think.
Laser mines. We really enjoyed bringing these laser trip mines into Nova Prospekt. They were a weapon from Half-Life 1 we hadn't managed to include in Half-Life 2, but at least they found a place as a puzzle element. We liked how they served as a kind of personal morality test when the player had an antlion army. Some players immediately threw bug bait past the trip mines, sending antlion bodies at the problem, while others had their little buddies back until they'd safely removed the trip mines with other tools. We didn't judge.
unified antlions. Having an endlessly respawning antlion army attacking turrets and soldiers meant we had to spend time figuring out the player's role in Nova Prospekt's combat. The player had already faced plenty of Combine soldiers, so we decided to make combat here feel more like a puzzle and a spectacle instead of a combat challenge. With that in mind, we created setups that remained in a steady state until the player intervened. By directly killing enemies, the player could tip the balance in favor of the antlions, but we wanted to make bug bait usage especially rewarding. In many scenarios, when the player threw bug bait onto enemies, we activated additional antlion spawners, unleashing a rapid rush of new antlions into the fight. The resulting carnage was the reward that made bug bait satisfying to use.
Contact Block B2. Deploy. Reinforce. Intersect in Central Block 4. Contact drop in Block B2. Deploy. Reinforce. Intersect in Central Block 4.
Arm of Sector 17 Overwatch concerning recent successes in containing members of the Resistance Science Team. Let me say up front that I regret having to temper my heartfelt congratulations with a strong measure of disappointment. I would be doing my duty as your administrator if I didn't pass along the message I have received from our benefactors. The capture of the met major significance for Prospekt. And while it's true that conceivable particular to have unexpected benefits, it cannot have gone unnoticed by all Resistance members that Dr. Vance's capture coincided with the act of giving shelter to Gordon Freeman. This might cause other Resistance members to think twice before harboring Dr. Freeman. It might cause them to question his allegiance, even prompt some to turn him out or turn him over to our cause. However, we cannot count on such developments. Dr. Freeman's reputation is such that other desperate renegades are likely to grant him a great deal of license in the spirit of spreading general chaos and terror. This brings me to the one note of disappointment I must echo from our benefactors. Obviously, I am not on the ground to closely command or second-guess the dedicated forces of the Overwatch. But this does not mean I can shirk responsibility for recent lapses and even outright failures on their part. I have been severely questioned about these shortcomings, and now I must put the question to you. How could one man have slipped through your force's fingers time and time again? How is it possible? This is not some agent provocateur or highly trained assassin we are discussing. Gordon Freeman is a theoretical physicist who had hardly earned the distinction of his PhD at the time of the Black Mesa incident. I have good reason to believe that in the intervening years, he was in a state that precluded further development of covert skills. The man you have consistently failed to slow, let alone capture, is by all standards simply that, an ordinary man. How can you have failed to apprehend him? Well, I will leave the upbraiding for another time to the extent it proves necessary. Now is the moment to redeem yourselves. If the transhuman forces are to prove themselves an indispensable augmentation to the Combine Overwatch, they will have to earn the privilege. I'm sure I don't have to remind you that the alternative, if you can call it that, is total extinction. In union with all the other unworthy branches of the species. Let's not allow it to come to that. I have done my best to convince our benefactors that you are the finest the species has to offer. So far, they have accepted my argument, but without concrete evidence to back it up. My words sound increasingly hollow even to me. The burden of proof is on you, as is the consequence of failure. I'll just leave it at that.
D2 Prison 04. Throughout development, our artists created small vertical slices of environments, which we called art zoos. These zoos laid out how to use textures and props to create gameplay spaces that achieved our visual goals. However, when building the prison's gameplay track, the repetitive layout allowed us to use the art more directly. This map was initially built as the primary art zoo for Nova Prospekt, but after being used to test various gameplay prototypes, including those that eventually led to Bugbait, it became part of the actual level architecture.
I wouldn't be doing my duty as your administrator if I didn't pass along the message I received. Gordon Freeman is a theoretical physicist who had hardly earned the distinction of his PhD at the time of the Black Mesa incident. I reason to believe that in the intervening years, skills. proves necessary. Now is the moment to redeem yourselves. If the transhuman forces are to prove themselves an indispensable augmentation to the Combine Overwatch, they will have to earn the privilege. I'm sure I don't have to remind you that the alternative, if you can call it that, is total extinction. In union with all the other unworthy branches of the species. It's not allowed to do that. I have done my best to convince our benefactors that you are the finest the species has to offer. So far, they have accepted my argument, but without concrete evidence to back it up. My words sound increasingly hollow even to me. The burden of proof is on you, as is the consequence. I'll just leave it.
D2 Prison 05 start. With the player able to move a large number of objects, we often ran into challenges, especially given the limitations of 2003's CPUs. One limitation was that our AI navigation system wasn't aware of dynamic physics objects, like these metal beds. While our NPC movement system could detect and avoid physics objects while moving, they were essentially invisible during navigation queries for strategic planning before movement. This was primarily due to performance limitations. We couldn't afford anything more complex. We also faced design challenges without clear solutions, like how a soldier should respond if a player completely blocked a corridor with large physics objects. To address this, we gave NPCs additional strength to push physics objects around. We then mitigated the issue through level design, widening corridors and ensuring enough empty space to handle props landing anywhere within them. This setup is a high-risk one. The combination of soldiers hiding behind beds and antlions charging for melee attacks creates a good chance of awkward interactions between the NPC movement system and the beds.
Laundry. By the time the player reaches this level, known as Laundry, we're confident they're comfortable using bug bait to solve combat scenarios. So, we wanted to raise the stakes a bit by creating a scenario that encourages the player to get even more involved, combining bug bait with their full set of weapons.
Kitchen. It's a well-known custom among game developers that all video game kitchens must feature a gas explosion.
one-way drops. Players never know what's ahead of them, but they're familiar with what's behind them, so it's common for them to retreat to familiar ground when they encounter an enemy. If we've built an arena where we want the player to engage, especially for an enemy with specific geometry requirements, like the antlion guard, we need a way to prevent that retreat. A common solution is to require the player to enter the arena through a one-way drop, something you've likely noticed a few times already.
I'm glad you made it here in one piece. My dad's up there somewhere, in that holding area. It's gonna take some doing to get him out. Let's get out of here.
Alex's toolkit. Alex's multi-tool is incredibly useful for letting us use her as a key. Often we needed to keep the player from moving forward until we were ready, and her multi-tool allowed her to deliver dialogue while unlocking the way ahead. We probably relied on it a bit too much, but it was hard to resist. There's always a trade-off. Using Alex to gate a room instead of creating a custom solution saved time that we could spend on other parts of the game, often more critical ones.
Alex as companion. This section became an unintentional prototype for what Episode 1 would eventually feature, Alex as a companion, moving smoothly along a path that blends dynamic combat with scripted choreography. We didn't yet have a clear model for how she would fit alongside the player in these scenarios, but even this brief section taught us a lot, despite not having enough time to iterate on it.
I'm afraid I'm flying blind here. Every now and then a Vortigaunt gets captured and sends back information, but we don't have a complete picture of the place. The little we do know is all bad. Get ready. Watch out! That was brutal. All right, over here. This'll get me into their security system. Now to find my father. Oh my God. These poor people. There. All right, I think I can bring him in. There! He's on the way. Let's go meet him. Ha! Done. Follow me. He should be in here. Let me just get this open. There he is. All right. Let me see if I can get this open.
Is that really you? I can't believe you found me.
Dad, are you all right?
I'm fine, but you've got to get out of here.
We're here to get you out, Dad.
Never mind me. Save yourselves.
No, we're not leaving you. I think I can recalibrate the Combine portal to get us out of here.
But where will you go?
I talked to Dr. Kleiner. His portal was almost working again. If he's managed to repair it, we'll end up there. If he hasn't, well, we couldn't be any worse off.
It's not worth the risk, Alex. I can't lose you. Get out while you can.
We're not leaving here without you. That's final.
We can't leave Judith here either.
Don't worry, Dad. We'll find her. For now, I'm going to send you to the teleport chamber. I'm not saying goodbye, Dad. We'll meet you there.
I know you will. I'll see you there, lady.
Let's get out of here. All right. Over here.
Eli in pod choreography. We wrote and recorded dialogue for the scene while still building out Nova Prospekt. At that stage, we knew Alex and Gordon would teleport out of the prison, but none of the specifics had been worked out. So the dialogue needed to be broad enough to fit whatever we ultimately built. This led us to focus less on the player's actions and more on Alex's vulnerability and her connection to her father. We hoped the emotion would carry the scene more than the narrative itself. Ultimately, we're aiming for the player to care about these characters and want to prioritize what's important to Alex.
I'm gonna head back to the security station and try to patch into your suit radio. Wait till you hear from me.
Hey, take care of yourself.
Hey, it worked. Let's see what I can do to clear the way for you. Keep an eye out for Moss. I'll get my dad through the prison as far as I can, then I'll catch up with you. Hang on, I'll see if I can figure out how to get that gate open. Okay, got it. I'll have this open in a jiffy. Damn, it's jammed. Okay, I've got an idea. Head back to that office. According to the schematics, there should be a vent behind those shelves.
Vent. You probably know this, but if there's a vent, there has to be a head crab in it. We don't make these rules. They, like the vents themselves, come straight from the top.
A lot of combine sensors in the area ahead. I'll start working on this. Just a sec. Okay, got it. Uh-oh, look at the monitor.
targets. One of the key tools in our design toolkit is the look target, an invisible point in space that activates when the player looks at it. Designers can specify how accurately the player has to look at it, the duration of the look, and other conditions. Once activated, the look target triggers various events in the game. For example, Alex might wait for the player to look at her before delivering a line of dialogue. A spectacle might begin only when it's in view, or a combine dropship might fly over when the player is looking in its general direction. Once we implemented look targets, designers found endless ways to use them to make gameplay feel more reliable for players, especially since some move at very different speeds or in difficult to predict ways.
Grenade puzzle. This small puzzle often caused players to get stuck during playtests because the unlimited grenade box was placed a bit behind them on their path. By this point in the game, players have fully learned to associate unlimited ammo boxes with puzzle solutions. So if a grenade box were here, they'd immediately know they needed a grenade to solve it. We wanted them to have to think a little first. Eventually, we added a subtle hint by making grenades visible on the desk through a window, just to remind players they're available. They also helped uncover a bug in a playtest when a player approached to look more closely and ended up collecting the grenade through the glass.
Mossman's betrayal. Our original plan for Judith Mossman's arc was for her to betray the player around this point. But by the time we reached the scene, having developed other parts of the game, we felt she was more likely just trying to protect Eli. We envisioned her reconsidering, realizing she couldn't actually betray Gordon. We had ideas to clarify this shift later, but ultimately we never finished her arc. We liked the ambiguity in Mossman, but players didn't seem to. They almost universally hated her. That might be a success, though. We worked hard to build the player's affinity for Alex, and Alex wasn't exactly a fan of Judith either.
Warning. Malignant viral interface bypass detected. Polyphatic core reprogramming detected. Sterilizers and containment fields may be compromised.
Sorry it took me so long. Glad to see you're okay. Let's see if we can find Mossman. It looks like this station might give me better access. There she is. Wait a minute. How'd she...
It's from your area.
I'm not calling about that.
What's she up to?
You promised you weren't going to touch Eli.
Oh my
The
god.
soldiers were a bit overzealous, I admit, but he was too tempting a prize to simply turn loose. Especially in the absence of Gordon Freeman.
You would have had Freeman if you'd been patient and just waited for my signal.
We weren't entirely sure you were ever going to get around to that. Human loyalties being what they are.
Dr. As I have stated before, you have to let Eli come around on his own.
I have known Dr. Vance far longer than you, my dear. I'm afraid your feelings for him may have blinded you.
Feelings? This has nothing to do with feelings. It's a simple truth that when Eli believes
This is not open to debate, Dr. Mossman.
Doctor, please.
So sorry, Judith. I'm all out of time.
Damn her! I don't believe this! Come on, Gordon. Now we've really got to hurry. Go on ahead. I'll disrupt the next level of security and catch up with you when I can. You better hurry. Go on, Gordon.
Warning. Surveillance and detection systems inactive. Remaining stabilization team members report containment status please.
Turret training exit. This pile of trash, along with the cluttered descent down the stairs, is designed to discourage players from bringing a turret with them. While it wouldn't break anything if they did, we wanted to make it less likely. Making it inconvenient to keep the turret isn't an ideal design strategy, but it was better than nothing. Many playtesters eventually gave up and tossed the turret aside once they felt the game was trying to tell them something.
Final Turret Arena. When building the arc of a gameplay element, like allied turret usage, we often build a prototype that represents the arc's endpoint first. We iterate on that prototype until the playtests show that it works. Then we work backward, adding preceding scenarios to introduce the element and build player skill. This approach ensures the final arc is engaging before we invest substantial time. It also means that, by the time we create training scenarios, we've observed enough playtests to know which skills need guidance and which players will grasp naturally. The final turret scenario was our goal, emphasizing the player's defense against enemies from multiple directions, requiring dynamic turret placement and recovery.
Allied turrets balancing. Balancing this fight around the allied turrets was challenging. The turrets are the novel element here, so if players ignore them, the gameplay feels redundant, because so much of it is similar to what's come before. We wanted to require turret usage and reward strategic placement, but it was highly binary. Perfect placement made a fight easy, while poor placement made it very difficult. Tuning and custom soldier AI logic helped. Soldiers became better at toppling turrets by throwing grenades or flanking to knock them down. These changes made the fight less about a perfect setup and more about actively maintaining turrets, as any setup will be disrupted at some point. Playtests vary widely, with some players finding it too hard and others calling it their favorite fight. Running out of time, we ultimately made it a bit easier and shipped it, though we were unsatisfied with the final balance.
so long, Gordon. Looks like you could have used some help. I won't leave you again, though. Now let's track down Mossman.
Warning. Surveillance
Come on.
and detection systems inactive. Remaining stabilization team members report containment status.
Flares. This section is a nice counterpoint to the previous turret segment in terms of production and cost and iteration. Built very late, it came together quickly as the AI for Alex and the Combine Soldier was already mature. We liked the darkness and flares and filed it away as something to explore further. Later, we revisited it when planning the dark sections in Episode 1. Flares. This section is a nice counterpoint.
Attention ground units. Mission failure will result in permanent off-world assignment. Code reminder.
Great, another security station. Alright, Mossman, where are you? Ha! Found her. Ha! Got you now! Uh-oh. Well, come on, Gordon. We don't want to keep her waiting. Come on, Gordon! Let me seal this door. No turning back now. There she is. Leave it talking to me, Gordon. We may need her to get out of here.
Hello? Oh, thank God someone... Alex? Gordon, how did you get in here?
We know all about you and Breen.
What?
You've been a spy for the Combine the whole time.
What are you talking about?
Damn it! Move back, Mossman. We're coming in.
Alex, whatever you may think, I assure you, I have worked to protect your father.
Shut up and be glad you're still some use to us. We're going to reconfigure this teleport and get the hell out of here.
You see, we're working to the same end. I've already reprogrammed the modulator to emulate a Zen relay.
That's my father's work you stole.
It's my work, too. And I had to prove to Dr. Breen that your father would be the most valuable member of any research effort going forward.
Enough of your bullshit! Look, Gordon, there's my dad. I'm going to bring him in.
You found Eli?
No thanks to you. Just enter the coordinates for Dr. Kleiner's lab and let's get moving.
But we need access to the teleport platform and we're locked out.
I'll take care of that. Let's get going.
Meeting Mossman. Reuniting the player and Alex with Mossman after the betrayal scene was tricky. As many players felt, they should shoot Mossman on sight. We couldn't allow this, as we didn't have time to develop alternate story branches. However, we also didn't want to highlight that we were preventing this choice, so we aimed to reduce the likelihood of players trying it. The bulletproof glass here buys time for dialogue between Alex and Mossman, during which it becomes clear that Alex doesn't think shooting Mossman is the right thing to do.
Oh my god. You've been working with this thing? For how long?
Never. Until now. I did have a fairly good idea of what to expect.
I'll bet you did. It looks like it's waiting for us.
The Combine uses a peculiar pulse-forming network with a very long rise time. It takes quite a while to recharge.
So you've warmed it up for us. Good. And just in time. Dad, down here! Sorry we took so long. I hope that wasn't too bad for you.
Don't worry about me, sweetheart. Judith! I see they set you free.
Not exactly.
Eli! I was so worried about you.
The coordinates, Dr. Mossman.
So, this is the Combine portal. It's smaller than I imagined.
Hurry up, Mossman! Dr. Kleiner!
Yes, Alex. Where are you?
We're in Nova Prospekt, and we're running the Zen emulation for the first time. Are you ready for us?
Ready, willing, and fully enabled.
Good. We'll send my dad through first. He's in position for... What's that? Hold on, gotta bring this back down. No! Stop! What are you doing?
I'm sorry, Alex. It's the only way.
No! Get back!
What's going on,
Dad!
Alex? Judith!
No!
What's happening?
Dr. Kleiner, you have to stop them!
Stop who, my dear?
Oh my god! What coordinates are these? Where the hell did she take him? No. Cover me, Gordon. I've got to reset the portal. Gordon, use the turrets.
Mossman and Eli. This choreo scene required significant iteration. We wanted to deliver a plot twist in the middle of the scene while keeping player control unrestricted. It required a delicate balance to make that twist clear, yet still make sure that it was uninterruptible. If players followed Alex to the console, they needed to understand what was happening when they turned around. If they stayed back and watched Mossman, they needed to understand what was happening without feeling it was something that they should try to prevent. It required extensive tuning and playtesting to get the timing right, but ultimately, we employed a combination of distraction, delivering the crucial moment quickly, and then finally delivering an explanation after the event.
My God, we made it. But where's Dr. Kleiner? Dr. Kleiner, let us out!
Alex? Gordon? My God, how did you get here? And when?
What's wrong?
My dear, I had given up hope of ever seeing you again.
I was afraid we might not make it either. I think the teleport exploded just as we were porting out.
Indeed, it did. And the repercussions were felt far and wide, but that was over a week ago.
What do you mean? Gordon and I were just there a minute ago.
Fascinating. We seem to have developed a very slow teleport. This suggests an entirely new line of investigation.
A week? Then what have we missed?
A great deal, my dear. The blow you struck at Nova Prospekt was taken as a signal to begin the uprising.
But what about my father?
Well, that is most troubling. According to the Vortigaunts, he is a prisoner at the Citadel.
We've got to get my father out.
Barney has been leading a push with that very aim in mind. And another of your friends arrived several days ago.
Dog, you made it! Good boy.
So there, you see? It's not all hopeless.
I wish I shared your optimism, Doctor.
Doc, come in. Are you there? Hey, Doc, are you there?
Yes, Barney, and I'm no longer alone. Alex and Gordon have just arrived.
Well, man, that's good news. I almost gave you guys up for lost. We're planning to set up a staging area for attacking the Citadel.
Gordon and Doc can head your way. I want to get Dr. Kleiner somewhere safer. Then I'll meet up with you.
I'll take all the help I can get. Aw, crap! Incoming! Go on, get going!
Okay, Gordon, you heard him. I'll catch up with you as soon as I get Dr. Kleiner settled.
Just a minute. I can't leave without Lamar.
Oh, no.
Where did she get to?
Go on, Gordon. I'll take care of this. Gordon, take care of yourself out there. Dr. Kleiner, there's really no time.
No, she's around here someplace.
We'll find you another pet head crab. There are plenty to go around.
There's only one heady.
Combat. Dog is a really fun character, and we were always looking for ways to include him in combat alongside the player. However, getting the right scale of combat for him, meaning the appropriate environment, new enemy AI, and potentially even new enemies, quickly fell beyond the project's scope. To create a combat scenario that did justice to Dog and could stand up against the rest of the game, it almost felt like we'd be building a new game inside of the game. We knew he couldn't just run over to a soldier and throw a punch. He'd feel less impressive, without any sense of awe. He needed bigger threats to match his scale, along with interesting ways to interact with him. In the end, we chose to create a large choreographed scene, delivering on the cinematic goals for Dog in combat without incorporating extensive gameplay design.
Well, Gordon Freeman. And about time, too.
Citizen squads. Our early tests of Combine versus Citizen street fights revealed an issue. Without boundaries, combat AI could drift significantly away from the player. Soldiers might retreat to reload and take cover, and Citizen AI would give chase. We needed a way to align the citizens' actions more closely with the player's goals, keeping them aware of where the player was heading and which enemies the player wanted to engage. This led to the creation of a Citizen Player Squad. The Citizen AI used the squad to move with the player, engaging the same enemies and providing a basic interface for the player commands. We initially had a more complex command system, but it quickly became unwieldy, so we scaled it back.
That small minds called the Combine can carry us there.
Gordon Freeman, you're here.
Dr. Freeman? We're coming with you. With you here, Dr. Freeman, we can finally make some headway.
Once we'd established the Citizen Player Squad and started building scenarios around it, we found it created other interesting opportunities. Playtesters began to care about specific squad members, so we added more to their design. Squad members would pick up better weapons if they found them, pass the player ammo when needed, and medics would heal the player as necessary. We also had to ensure the squad could keep up with the player, who often took unpredictable paths. Off-camera, the squad would cheat in various ways, regenerating health between fights, moving quickly to catch up, and even teleporting when necessary.
We're with you, Dr. Freeman. Let us know if we can do anything extra to help. Let us know if we can do anything extra to help.
This corrugated metal panel was deliberately placed over the hull to encourage players to switch to the gravity gun and remove the obstruction. It's a bit of manipulation on our part because we found that training players on hopper mines worked much better if they immediately tried using the gravity gun on them, and the metal panel significantly increased the chance they'd have it ready. We placed multiple mines in the hull so players would have several opportunities to interact with them, increasing the chances they'd discover alternative ways of disposing of them. Furthermore, this is the first time we're doing training while the player has a whole squad of citizens with them, so we took advantage of that opportunity to include some dialogue lines concerning the hopper mines as well.
Ignorant and doomed to fight their eternal vigilance. Got one! Would we model ourselves on a trilobite? Nothing more than a layer of broken plastic shards thinly strewn across a fossil bed, sandwiched between the Burgess Shale and an eon's worth of mud? In order to be true to our nature and our destiny, we must aspire to greater things. We have outgrown our cradle. It is futile to cry for mother's milk when our true sustenance awaits us among the stars. And only the Union, that small minds call the Combine, can carry us there. Therefore I say yes, I am a collaborator. We must all collaborate, willingly, eagerly, if we expect to reap the benefits of unification. And reap we shall.
Let me get out of your way. Excuse me.
AI behaviors. One piece of AI technology we developed for Half-Life 2 was the behavior system. Behaviors were chunks of AI gameplay code that guided NPCs in specific situations. For example, we had a lead behavior that enabled an NPC to guide the player, and a follow behavior allowing an NPC to follow the player or another NPC. Behaviors worked alongside the NPC's base actions, so a medic squad mate using the follow behavior to keep up with the player would still know how to fire at enemies or dodge grenades or offer a med kit.
Excuse me. Dr. Freeman, can't you see we hoped for one more fighter to help storm that barricade. We never dreamed it would be you.
Sorry.
Hey, it's Freeman. Let's follow him. Pardon me.
Sorry, Freeman.
Assault behavior. The most complex behavior we built for Half-Life 2 was the assault behavior, which is used throughout this section of the game. It allowed level designers to set up combat scenarios with combined soldiers and citizens, establishing battle lines between them and controlling how those battles played out based on the player's action. NPCs involved in an assault would try to find smart firing positions and use cover based on the battle line's location. As the player advanced down a street, they might push the battle line forward, causing allied citizens to advance while enemy soldiers fell back. Alternatively, a player might need to knock over some combine turrets or take out a soldier behind a barricade to move the battle line forward.
Dr. Freeman, the Combine has cut our supply tunnel in two. If you'll join up with us, we'll take a stab at pushing through their outpost.
Cities. One of the trickier challenges in this section was figuring out how to give the player the sense of being in a sprawling city, when our performance budgets wouldn't allow us to render anything like one. This led us to focusing on tightly packed tenements, underground garages, subway tunnels, culverts, and the like. All places that are in cities, but generally prevent being able to see the horizon. We then supplemented that style of level design with vista locations, where the whole space is dedicated to providing an expansive view to the player. In those, we could devote our entire performance budget to the view, and not have to save any of it for enemy AI or combat.
Gotta reload. Good thing you've got that suit.
Radiation levels detected. Medical attention.
see you made it through okay. Figured you would. Okay, last charge!
Follow Freeman!
It's not safe here anymore. They're shelling the hell out of us. Keep moving, Dr. Freeman. I'll send word you're coming and see
We used a lot of small tricks and built various features to give players the impression of a city at war, with much of the work aimed at providing glimpses of skirmishes or the sounds of distant fighting. Look targets help make something happen every time a player looks through a window, while tools like tracer markers allow designers to create fake tracer fire between 2 points. Paired with audio tools, this made it seem like 2 groups of enemies were exchanging fire without the need to run any AI. We also developed small storylines for groups of citizens the player would glimpse multiple times while progressing through a level. All these moments were fine-tuned through playtests to ensure as many players as possible would experience them.
When is it all going to end?
Don't worry.
Please. Hey, it's Freeman. You're not leaving without me.
Fine. Okay, come across. Got one.
Cover me while I reload.
Medkit.
I'd find you here. I've got Dr. Kleiner in a safe spot. Now we can join up with Barney. There's a command center downstairs. I'm hoping to find information about generator locations. Ready? Let's go.
Come on!
Well, we're in luck. There's a generator in the square outside. We're trying to disable as many as we can to loosen the Combine's grip on this sector. It'll take me a few minutes to expose the core, then I'll need you to hit it with a burst from the gravity gun. In the meantime, watch my back.
You were amazing back there, Dr. Freeman, but I feel sorry for anyone who put down a security deposit.
Pardon me.
Triangle Plaza. This plaza battle was a complex setup using the assault behavior with two converging battle lines, one for each force field. As the soldiers enter from behind the fields, their battle lines prevent them from individually rushing into the plaza. As the fight escalates and the soldiers build up, the battle lines start to move towards the center of the plaza, which will cause the soldiers to overwhelm the player if they're not repelled.
down.
Man-hacked tunnels. When developing the AI behavior for an NPC, we found it useful for the AI programmer to have a test map in which to experiment. That map would often evolve into an environment specifically designed to showcase the NPC's unique capabilities. Later, when the AI was ready for use by level designers, the test map served as a valuable point of reference. Without it, designers could accidentally build scenarios that made an otherwise interesting AI less engaging. In some cases, we were able to incorporate these test maps directly into the game. This small section, for instance, started as the tunnels used to develop the Manhack's AI.
Dr. Freeman! Barney said you were on the way. We got split up by snipers, and he's pinned down in a warehouse up ahead. Go ahead, he's relying on you. Lead the way!
Sniper streets. These sniper-filled streets are where we developed both the enemy and the core of the experience we hoped players would have. We knew we wanted the sniper to shoot things near the player, so we first focused on finding a variety of interesting targets for them to hit. We found it worked well if we used the player's view as a factor in selecting objects. The sniper's always-on laser sight meant that players had a constant indicator of the sniper's attention, so having it drift to a target that the player was looking at felt really responsive and provided great moments of tension.
Sniper Streets 2. Bullets in Half-Life 2 don't actually follow a flight path. They arrive at their target instantly. But for the sniper, with its slow rate of fire and the player's close attention to every shot, we wanted to simulate bullet travel. This approach also worked better with laser sight, where the sight flicks off and the bullet lands shortly after, depending on the distance to the sniper. However, this change introduced a new issue. We didn't want players to just sprint down the streets to evade shots, so the sniper had to lead a moving target, predicting where the bullet should hit. Predicting the player's future position was tricky, as players can change direction much faster than would be possible in the real world. So we added extra checks to catch behaviors like players quickly tapping left and right as they ran.
Sniper Streets 3. One feature we tried in these streets was suppression fire. Many players hunkered down at the end of the street, would fire a burst at the sniper's window to see if it had any effect. So we experimented with making the laser sight flicker off briefly, giving players a moment to relocate. But after a number of playtests, we encountered two issues. First, it disrupted the tense move-and-hide gameplay we aimed to create with a sniper. Sprinting while firing wasn't much different from other actions we asked of the players in City 17. The second, more subtle issue was that players who discovered suppression fire first assumed it was required and would burn through ammo fast. If they ran out halfway through, they'd often give up, thinking they'd failed. If they made it, they'd frequently be left with no ammo. On the other hand, players who completed the scenario by stealth used almost no ammo at all. This resource gap between approaches made it near impossible to balance ammo for the sections that followed, so it didn't make it into the final game.
Over here!
Detected.
Jordan, I can't move. The sniper's got me pinned down. Pop a couple grenades. That'll clear him out.
Vital signs critical.
All right, thanks, Gordon. Now let's clear out of here. You're quite the returning hero these days, Gordon. Over here! Follow me!
Let me get this gate. My civil protection status still gives me limited clearance. Did you hear a cat just now? That damn thing haunts me. Watch the headhumpers, Gordon! There's an old building up ahead, a bank or a museum or something like that. Whatever the hell it used to be, now it's a nexus for Overwatch in City 17. It's the main source of pain for this part of town, thanks to a huge suppression device. It's raining down hell from the roof of that place. Nexus. Looks like they're mobilizing big time. You can sort of see the gate from here. I'll show you when we get to street level. We'll have to get in that building to open the gate. Even then, the suppression device will, suppress anyone coming through unless we shut it down. Then let's go!
You smell that? It's freedom.
There's that gate I was telling you about. We'll have to come back here after we get it open. If we get it open.
The so-called one free.
First, we gotta get into the Nexus building. Gate I was telling you about. We'll have to come back here after we get it open. If we get it open. First, we gotta get into the Nexus building.
A man of science with the ability to
You're not gonna hurt that thing from down here, Gordon. We're gonna shut it down from inside.
Sorry.
No!
Finality. You have plunged humanity. If I surrender now, I cannot guarantee that our benefactors will accept it.
Look out!
At the moment, I fear they have begun to look upon us.
Here they come!
Serve mankind.
turrets. Hey, you've got the HEV suit, you deal with them. Then I'll work the security console. Great, I'll open this up. Ships. They'll be coming from the roof. If we want to get through these shields, we'll have to take out the generators one at a time. They'll be coming from the roof. If we want to get through these shields, we'll have to take out the generators one at a time.
Hey! Let us out of here! Let us out, we'll throw in with you.
Look for us!
Nice. Nice.
This'll do nicely.
One for me and one for me.
My leg!
Look out, Freeman! Get down!
Might as well start with this one. Okay, 2 more generators to go. Man, Overwatch owns the roof, and that's where we're headed. Try using the hoppers against them. Set some traps for them, Gordon. Generator to go. Wow. With that much security, there must be something good in there. Go for it, Doc. I'll wait here till you shut it down. Be careful. it. They're all down. That'll shut down the suppressor on the roof as well. Let's head for the roof now, Gordon. There's our gate. Let me just get it open. Done.
Dr. Freeman, wait!
I'm gonna
We'll
stay
come with
here
you.
and keep these gates open long enough to make a difference. Go on up and connect the sky bridge. We need to let reinforcements come through from every possible direction. If any more citizens come through, I'll send them up to find you. See you when I see you, Gordon.
Dr. Freeman, since you shut off the suppressor and opened the gate, we can really move people through now. The Combine's gonna feel the squeeze. We dropped a crate of rockets coming across the plaza. If you can make it there, you should have everything you need to take down these Striders. Hey everybody, follow Freeman!
Freeman! It's a mess out there. This close to the Citadel, they've turned the streets over to Striders. I think we can push them back if we can just get to high ground. We're almost to the Citadel wall, Doc. I don't know how the hell we're gonna breach it, but you've made it this far. I'm sure you'll think of something. We have to get to the horse!
Excuse me.
Wait for me!
Come back here, dog! Gordon! Hey, help me out here! Dog came crashing through the plaza, knocking over walls, and I think he's looking for Alex. He seems to have it set in his head that she's in the Citadel. I figured Alex wouldn't want him getting any deeper in trouble, but hell, you try stopping him. Hey, dog! Not there! You can't get through that way! Well, I'll be damned. I think he wants you to go through, Gordon. You'd better hurry. And if you see Dr. Breen, tell him I said...
So, this is Dr. Freeman. At last. I wish I could say this was a pleasant surprise, but it's neither a surprise nor, as you will surely agree, very pleasant. Well, I am nothing if not pragmatic. Dr. Freeman, under other circumstances, I like to think we might have been able to work together in an atmosphere of mutual trust and respect. Certainly, judging from your brief tenure at Black Mesa while I was its administrator, you showed every promise of becoming a valuable and productive contributor to the scientific process. And yet, I'm not sure what spurred you to it. But there is really no place in this enterprise for a rogue physicist. Mentors are partly to blame, of course. My disappointment in Eli Vance and Isaac Kleiner is far greater than my sorrow over your unfortunate choice of career path. In a way, I suppose you could not have done otherwise. Who knows what seeds of iconoclasm they planted when you were young and gullible, but while they certainly share a great part of the responsibility for the recent troubles, it is you alone who have chosen to act with such willful disregard for humanity's future. Can you name even one thing? I thought not. For humanity's survival. And not as we have narrowly defined ourselves, but as something greater than we could ever imagine. Something we can now only begin to glimpse.
I'll take him from here. Don't struggle. It's no use. Until you're where he wants you, there's nothing you can do. I'm sorry, Gordon.
Gas giants, inhabited by vast meteorological intelligences, worlds stretched thin across the membranes where the dimensions intersect. Impossible to describe with our limited vocabulary.
What I've seen is also beyond words, Breen. Genocide, indescribable evil. Good God.
Well, if it isn't Gordon Freeman at last. What's this? I'll put it over there. You have my gratitude, Doctor. First, you lead me straight to the doorstep of my oldest friend. Then you deliver yourself. If I'd known you were going to come straight up to my office, I wouldn't have bothered hunting you in the first place. Having both of you in my keeping ensures I can dictate the terms of any bargain I care to make with the Combine.
Dr. Breen. Wallace.
Yes, Judith, what is it?
The bargain we should be making is for Eli's life so he can continue his research.
Thanks to you, we have everything we need in that regard. You're more than qualified to finish his research yourself. What neither you nor I can do is convince that rabble in the streets to give up their senseless struggle. Yet Eli refuses to speak the words that would save them all.
Save them? For what?
Eli, if you won't do the right thing for the good of all people, maybe you'll do it for one of them.
Alex, honey.
Dad. Gordon?
God damn you, Breen, you let her go.
That's all up to you, my old friend. Will you let your stubborn short-sightedness doom the entire species, or will you give your child the chance her mother never had?
How dare you even mention her?
Alex, my dear, you have your mother's eyes, but your father's stubborn nature.
You haven't seen a bit of it yet.
Really? Well, let's see how well it serves you on the far side of a Combine portal.
Go ahead, Breen. If that's the worst you can do, send us both through your portal.
Oh, it's hardly the worst. But you might find that hard to believe once you get there.
It isn't necessary.
I agree. It's a total waste. Fortunately, the Resistance has shown it is willing to accept a new leader. And this one has proven to be a fine pawn for those who control him.
No!
Don't listen to him, Gordon.
How about it, Dr. Freeman? Did you realize your contract was open to the highest bidder?
Gordon would never make any kind of deal with you.
I understand if you don't wish to discuss this in front of your friends. I'll send them on their way, and then we can talk openly.
Don't struggle, honey.
Dad, I'm so sorry.
Alex, sweetheart.
Judith, what do you think you're doing?
We're doing what I could never do alone. We're stopping you.
Yes.
Guards, get in here. They know you betrayed them. They'll turn on you. Judith, Dr. Mossman, please.
I'm sorry, Wallace. You're all out of time. Don't.
Hurry! Dad, hang on.
You fool!
Watch out, he's gonna—
No!
Dad!
Oh, no. Don't worry about me, honey.
There's no time, Alex. He's on his way to the portal. You'll need this.
Dr. Mossman, Judith, look after my father.
Don't you worry.
Dad, I'm not saying goodbye.
Never.
Come on, Gordon. Let's go.
That's my girl.
I'm not leaving you again, Eli.
Come on. Gordon, we haven't known each other very long, but I know you didn't have to do this. I had to rescue my father, but you... Well... Thanks for coming after me.
It's me you should be concerned.
Hey, listen.
I can still deliver.
That's him.
But not without your help. The portal destination is untenable. Surely you can set the relay elsewhere. There's no way I can survive in that environment. A host body? You must be joking. I can't possibly...
There he is.
Oh, all right. Damn it, if that's what it takes. Just hurry. He's right behind me. Oh, shit.
Damn it! Not again! The gravity gun. He doesn't have a clue, does he? I wonder where he's going. Oh my god. This is the Citadel's dark fusion reactor. It powers their tunneling entanglement device. We'll never have a chance like this again. We've got to stop Dr. Breen. I can't shut it down. Looks like he's turned over control to the other side. You'll have to go into the core and do what you can. Get in the elevator and I'll let you in. Don't forget to charge up your suit. Do your worst, Gordon. But be careful.
Dr. Freeman, you really shouldn't be out there. At the moment of synapse, as I teleport, this chamber will be bathed in deadly particles that have yet to be named by human science. Perhaps when I have the leisure to do the work myself, I'll name one of them after you. That way you won't be completely forgotten. When the singularity collapses, I will be far away from here, in another universe, as a matter of fact. You, on the other hand, will be destroyed in every way it is possible to be destroyed, and even in some which are essentially impossible.
What the hell? Oh no, Combine soldiers. Where did they come from?
I don't know what you can possibly hope to achieve apart from your own annihilation. I don't know what you can possibly hope to achieve apart from your own annihilation.
Don't listen to him.
I warned you this was futile.
Bluffing, Gordon. Don't listen to him. Great. Oh no, Breen started his ascent. Hurry, Gordon, before he escapes.
have told you that was pointless, Dr. Freeman.
Go, Gordon!
Are you still with us, Dr. Freeman? Not for much longer, I think. If only you had harnessed your boundless energy for a useful purpose.
Oh my god. The portal is opening.
I hope you said your farewells. Go back, Freeman. You have no idea what you're doing. Unleash! You could bring down this whole citadel. Think, man! Think of the people below! No! You need me.
Yeah! You did it! Come on, Gordon. We've got to get out of here. Maybe we still have...
Time, Dr. Freeman? Is it really that time again? It seems as if you only just arrived. You've done a great deal in a small time span. You've done so well, in fact, that I've received some interesting offers for your services. Ordinarily, I wouldn't contemplate them, but these are extraordinary times. Rather than offer you the illusion of free choice, I will take the liberty of choosing for you, if and when your time comes round again. I do apologize for what must seem to you an arbitrary imposition, Dr. Freeman. I trust it will all make sense to you in the course of... well, I'm really not at liberty to say. In the meantime, this is where I get off.
Lamar! Blast that little... Where did she get to?